Yes, madam.
Yes. Uko poa?
Uko salama?
Uko salama? Salimia wananchi.
Sisi tumetoka Addis.
Addis imekuwa aje?
Addis was good. Very good with us. Kenya lost last minute due to regional issues. But we are good.
Okay, for now, what's the way forward?
In terms of?
So, kuna wenye wanasema Raila saa wanaona aende UN.
Aende UN. It is not us to determine. It is for Baba to decide whether he wants to run for anything where he can serve humankind. Just like there, this one, it was his decision.
So, those who are celebrating Raila, how Raila Odinga lose?
Why would you celebrate the loss of Kenya? It is Kenya which was running, not Raila. Why would you? And those are the things which I think make us appear unpatriotic, as I've been saying. If a Kenyan is contesting in a foreign land, it is Kenya contesting, it is not that individual. And so if we lost, it is Kenya that lost. Okay? And we know why there was a change last minute. Some small issues which will be explained in the media by some of us who are actively involved in the last minute.
Okay, so that you are saying that you will suggest East Africa to be removed from
Yeah, of course it is something to be looked into. We cannot have AU, which is permanently being chaired by people from states from the north. AU must have a system where it can, fairly allow leadership. Like this time, the best candidate we had for AUC was Raila Odinga. Everybody will tell you so. But you come and you go talking things like which language do we speak, who colonized us, and so that when you look at history of all the AUC chairs we have had, only one has been away from the north. This time it is even more complicated because both the chair and the vice chair from the north. And so my belief is that we must look at the AUC Constitutive Act in a manner that will allow all regions of Africa to feel included and to be participating fully, not just in terms of state participation, but also in the leadership of AUC. You have any questions?
Okay, and again we have seen
Nothing compared to Kenya. Djibouti is 25% of Turkana County. In terms of geopolitics, the space occupied by Kenya, what geopolitics is not comparable to Kenya. Kenya is the only state in Africa which is hosting a and those others. So you can certainly not compare Djibouti to Nairobi. Just the same way you cannot compare that guy they have now elected as the AUC chair to Raila. You cannot. And that is why we are saying we must set a system that will enable us to elect people who can competently, lead Africa towards unity, towards peace, towards real progress. And that is why, if you looked at what I said yesterday, it is a loss for Africa. It is not just a loss for Kenya, it's a loss for Africa that we don't have Raila, going to chair AUC. Raila is the known Pan-Africanist alive. You sit with Raila even for 2 minutes, he'll be out discussing the best interest of some African state. And his history. So it would have been a perfect bridge between, the past and the present and the future Africa. an Africa which is respected by the international community, an Africa which can, say we want representation in the United Nations Security Council, for instance, and it will be taken seriously. Yeah, and so this is a big miss for Africa, and that is why, not out of emotions, but as a leader in Africa, I was saying we need to look at the constitutive, treaty and act of AU, so that if we have the best candidate to chair AU from East Africa, we don't go to matters like religion and language, because then we are just discussing who colonized which state. It means we are not thinking of Africa in terms of how to move it forward. So it is a loss of for Kenya and a loss for Africa that we are not going to have Raila as the AUC, chair. I know people have been asking now what happens, and I saw some idiots, let me call him Kenyan idiots, celebrating, thinking it was Raila that was running. Let me tell you, we need to wake up. I've heard those people saying, oh, if Raila loses, then he will come and join some imaginary thing they call opposition.
Yeah.
These are the people who are saying that Raila has read, so they don't need to read. We don't have an opposition in the current system of government. In the previous one, we had an opposition with an official opposition leader and a government side. In this one, is a presidential system. In a presidential system, everybody is in government, but they are in different political parties. And the work which was traditionally for the opposition, okay, is now the work of the entire parliament. That is what is called oversight. And so let me tell the people who are thinking Raila coming could make them, proceed and continue their anarchy against this government, that this AU thing, going by the support the government headed currently by President William Ruto has given Raila Odinga, is going to glue and cement us even harder. In fact, if you've been reading through what I've been saying, we are saying the ODM party and Azimio must formalize their relationship with President Ruto now. And whoever will be the candidate in that coalition arrangement, I can tell you, will be the next president come 2027 elections. Yeah, okay? And so those who are thinking Raila will come and then engage in your imaginary nonsense, those tribal nonsenses, Raila is going to work with Ruto on the enterprise we have started because of the goodwill Ruto has showed of ensuring that all Kenyans are included in their government, all Kenyans get an equitable share of their national resources. And you noted the people singing are people who believe once you vote for an individual, then you vote for him to exclude other Kenyans. And if he doesn't, if he says, let us include other Kenyans, you start making noise with him. I can tell them their celebration is short-lived. We are even tighter. We are tighter with William. We are tighter. Na vile nilisema, hatutoki. In fact, now we have the glue and we have the cement. We will be going to the Rift Valley, possibly in the middle of this week, to announce to them that we now know our friends just as we also know our enemies. And the Rubicon has been crossed. So to every cloud, the supporters of Raila Odinga and President William Ruto, every cloud has a silver lining. A silver lining is that we now have all the reasons to unite for the good of the country and to push the agenda of the country forward against these tribalists, whom even in a national contest where Raila is representing Kenya, they only see their petty things and local issues. Any question?
Okay, just your last word, because now you have tried to analyze them. Your last word, the people who think that Raila Odinga, his work is just with the opposition leader, and also you watched yesterday, some of them are saying that Raila should come back and do the work they elected him. That's how they were listening.
They're idiots. You know, Raila has presented himself as a presidential candidate in Kenya, including in the last elections. Those idiots saying he should come and oversight so that our government systems can be better. I've never voted for him. And so if they imagine Raila is their doormat or ladder to eternal bliss, let them know Raila is a Kenyan and Raila is there to fight for good governance in Kenya. I've heard some people saying, oh, Raila betrayed Gen Z. What was the agenda of Gen Z? Gen Z was fighting so that the taxation measures which were produced, which were, you know, in the Finance Act bill, Finance Bill of 2024, be withdrawn. That bill was withdrawn. You don't expect Raila, who leads the party called ODM, a party anchored and founded on the Constitution of Kenya. You know the history of ODM, to encourage a situation where we push for the collapse of the state. Get them? And that is why you remember I tweeted one day that better a bad government